آمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. Alhamdulillah. So it's been about 1 month since the finish of Ramadan, and I think the number one question that we should all ask ourselves is that how much of Ramadan has remained with us. And sadly, the truth is that right after Ramadan finishes, the numbers of people that attend the Fajr prayers decrease. The number of sadaqat that the masjid receives decreases. The number of smiles that we do on a daily basis decreases. So we see a negative slope right after Ramadan of our spirituality. And I think that when we go and try to diagnose this problem, I find that two reasons why year after year we're fasting 30 days in a row, yet we cannot attain what the prayer or the fast has been prescribed upon. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, that He has prescribed fasting upon us and upon the people before us only for us to attain taqwa. But sadly, that is the essence that we are not able to attain, and whatever we attain in that 30 days, we lose really quickly thereafter. So the two problems I think that we face right after Ramadan, number one is that we have the whole idea of Ramadan wrong. And I think if you look at people that perform high intensity sports, we see that they train for many years up till the Olympics. They train for many years up till the Olympics. And they're able to perform the best in the Olympics only with that training throughout the year. They don't go into Olympics and exert all their energy in that few weeks Olympics, but they practice and they train themselves over a period of time, sometimes years and years. They go through training, disciplining themselves for that 2 weeks that they want to perform the best. So the Muslims, on the other hand, don't perform any ibadah the whole year or do very little, and they expect that they can perform really well in Ramadan. But that's not how it works. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was the most generous man, and he used to be more generous in Ramadan. Not that he wouldn't be generous throughout the other months of the year, but he was more generous in Ramadan. The Prophet ﷺ would pray Qiyamul Layl all the time, but he would pray even more in Ramadan. And so we need to change our mentality of Ramadan. It's not when we exert all of our energy, but it's something we build up till. And the second thing, I think, that the problem with the way we treat Ramadan is our hearts. Our hearts are the same throughout Ramadan, and we expect to change. And I think a very important story that narrates the importance of the heart in all acts of worship is the story of Umar bin Khattab. As we all know, Umar bin Khattab initially did not like the Prophet, did not like Islam. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So a day came to Umar bin Khattab that he was steadfast and he knew that he was going to go and kill the Prophet. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So it is said that he was going and rushing with the sword in his hand out there to kill and chop off the head of the Prophet Muhammad. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And obviously a man that can kill another man would have a heart that's like a rock, like a stone. And we know if you have soil that is really hard, nothing, even if you put the best fertilizers and you put the best seeds, nothing will grow from it. So we can see Umar bin Khattab's heart, radiallahu anhu, to be a very strong and hard heart. So he's going to kill the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And it is said that a man came and asked him, "Oh Umar, what's up? Why are you so angry?" And Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu answered him that I'm going to kill Islam, I'm going to kill the leader, I'm killing Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So this man said to him that if you want to kill Islam, you should kill it at the roots. Your own family became Muslim. Why don't you go kill them first and then think about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So the Umar bin Khattab then changes the direction and heads straight to his sister's house, Fatima radiallahu anha, and her husband Zayd, who is a cousin of Umar bin Khattab. So he arrives at the door, and from the door he hears them chanting the verses of the Quran. Again, his heart is in a mode to kill somebody, so we can understand as it being a very hard and rough heart. So So he comes in the door of Fatima radiallahu anha, wanting to kill Fatima, and he's hearing the verse of the Quran, yet no change happens. And so he goes in and he asks Fatima, what is this that you're reciting? He says, I'm reciting the verse of the Quran, Surah Al-Taha. And then he asks Fatima, did you become Muslim? Without any fear, without any doubt that she did anything wrong, she says, yes, I became Muslim. And he asks Zayd, his cousin, and his brother-in-law, did you become Muslim as well? She says, yes. And he grabs Zayd by the shirt and starts beating him to the ground. And it said that Fatima could not take what was happening, so she goes and tries grabbing Umar bin Khattab to stop him from beating her husband. And so what happens is Umar bin Khattab, being in this mode, being this state that he is, he goes and smacks Fatima across the face. And so what happens is that Fatima, being his younger sister, she starts bleeding. Umar bin Khattab looks at his hand and sees the blood of Fatima, and all of a sudden his heart gets soft. His heart softens. And we see a total difference and a change within his state. From someone that was going to kill to someone that's feeling sorrow and sadness for what he has done. So at that point he asks Fatima, recite those verses again. Recite those verses that you were reciting when I first came here. And when she was reciting Surah Al-Taha, it only took a few verses and he converted to Islam. Right there, he converted to Islam. And then he told Fatima, take me to the Prophet ﷺ. So we saw the huge difference between a man that was ready to kill somebody and hearing the Quran, with a man that was with the heart that was softened and hearing the Quran. So these two things, I think, inshallah, we can build upon until the next Ramadan for us to retain all this taqwa and all this goodness that we attain from Ramadan. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we all stay alive and well until the next Ramadan. نسأل الله التوفيق والتيسير والحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة.